Nous allons passer maintenant à Monsieur Matt Andersson qui va prendre la parole. Il est là?
I am indeed.
Okay.
I'm truly honored to have this opportunity to speak. I'm representing ap4, a Swedish public pension fund, and I also represent a newly formed coalition, Portfolio Decarbonization Coalition. The coalition is founded by ap4, the French asset manager Amundi, CDP, and UNIP5. We're also supported by the Chinese investment bank CICC. I'm glad to report here in front of you what I believe is a tipping point. A fast-growing number of investors now realize that the climate change is not only a risk for society, it is in all respects a risk for their assets. As CEO of one of Sweden's largest pension funds, I see one concrete solution to reduce climate change risk: reallocate capital away from polluting companies toward more carbon-efficient companies. We at ap4, with $40 billion under management, have already taken action. Since 2 years back, we have gradually decarbonized our equity portfolio. We are hereby lowering the risk for both pensioners and the entire society. In short, we're combining transparency and sustainability at no extra cost. It is an old misconception that there is a conflict between sustainability and good returns. It is simply not true, and we have proved it. Sustainability is a driver for good long-term returns. I strongly believe that now is the time to scale up the work on decarbonization. At the Climate Summit in New York, we launched the Portfolio Decarbonization Coalition. The coalition has two major goals up until COP21 in Paris next year. First, disclosure. The coalition will find institutional investors that are prepared to disclose their carbon footprint for at least $500 billion of assets. Second, action. We're committed to gather institutional investors who will decarbonize at least $100 billion of assets. And this is just the beginning. We have more ambitious plans. As part of the coalition, my own organization, ap4, is committed within 2 to 3 years to decarbonize our entire equity portfolio of some $25 billion. Since Christmas is coming up, I have 2 wishes that I would like to share with you. First of all, put a price on carbon. It's absolutely key, and that's why the World Bank initiative on this is so important. It will send the right signal to the market, the investors, and the polluting companies. And at the same time, it will reward the leaders who take carbon seriously. Last but not least, it will push more money into investments in renewables and green infrastructure. My second wish: there's a simple, straightforward, at no-cost decision that governments can take and implement. Make it mandatory for pension funds to publish a carbon footprint. The transparency on this risk will in itself encourage action, believe me. What gets measured gets managed. To conclude, we know enough to act, and as a public pension fund, it is our responsibility to do so. We have experience, we have scalable solutions. Help us make what we're doing today mainstream tomorrow. Thank you.
Vous avez fait allusion à Noël. Nous souhaitons qu'avec la nouvelle année, beaucoup fassent comme vous. Mais ça montre bien l'intérêt de cet agenda des solutions. Bien sûr, les gouvernements doivent s'engager, mais en plus, les villes, on l'a vu, les régions, de grandes entreprises ou des fonds, c'est ainsi qu'on pourra changer les choses. Merci infiniment parce que venant de vous, c'était très, très convaincant.